we're going to look at now is a few examples of simple and compound interest. And we want to see how this is applied, right? Simple and compound interest. That's what we're really interested in over here. Now, let's quickly first talk about a simple interest example. I'm going to speak about a loan, right? And it could also be a hire purchase, a loan that is given to you on simple interest. And we're going to say that you want to take out a loan of 20,000 Rand initially. That's what we're interested in. Okay, which is quoted to you at an interest rate at simple interest. Okay, so I'm going to put there simple interest, and it's a simple interest rate of 12%. Right, and then finally, you want to repay this loan over a period of 5 years. Now, there's a few questions I'm going to ask you, but before we continue, I want to say something about I over there. I'm going to put this over here and say that I is always expressed as a percentage. I is always expressed as a percentage. That's the first thing and most important thing that I want to speak about over here. And secondly, what do I mean by it's always expressed as a percentage? It's always expressed as a ratio or fraction of 100. So if I talk about 12%, I want to say that 12% is identical to saying it's 12 over 100, right? Which is exactly the same as 0.12. Okay, all of these are equivalent forms, 12%, 12 over 100, 0.12 as a decimal. Now, if we continue further, I also want to say that I'm going to give you this question where you want to take it a loan, you want to do it for 5 years, and you are being quoted at a rate of 12% simple interest. Now, the questions that are to follow. Question 1. I'm interested in the total amount repayable. Total amount repayable. Ooh, that's a bad Y. Total amount repayable 1. And 2, I want to know what's the monthly repayments for a period of 5 years. Okay. And then finally, I want you to tell me what is the balance that is still owed after 3 years. The balance owed after 3 years. So that's what we're going to look at right now. Okay, so let's start with the first question. The first question is going to read, what is the total amount repayable? Firstly, we need to identify that this is being offered in simple interest. So let's start with that. It is going to be A equals P 1 plus I multiplied by N. Now let's insert each of those and then give us a calculation on that. What is the final amount repayable? That's going to be A. What is the initial amount that we took out as a loan? That is going to be 20,000. Right? And then let's substitute in the rest. 1 plus, what is I? The interest rate over here is going to be 12%, 0.12, and it's going to be for a period of 5 years. With a little bit of algebraic manipulation and some calculations and maybe even calculator, you'd find that this gives us 1.6 multiplied by 20,000, which is going to give us 32,000. And assuming we're working in rands, it is safe to say that this is 32,000 rands. Okay, so that's the first thing. The total amount repayable is going to be 32,000 rands. If I continue further, I'm going to say now, what is the monthly repayable amounts? How much do I owe and how much should I pay each month? So what is it going to be monthly repayable, right? Okay, so you know that you have to pay a total of 32,000. And for 5 years, the question is how many months is that? 5 years is the equivalent of 60 months. How did I work that out? The answer is simple. It's going to be 5 multiplied by 12. Let us continue if we want to look at that further. Okay, 60 months. So how do I work this out? I'm going to say, well, okay, take the total amount, which is 32,000 that I need to repay, and I'm going to divide it by the number of months that I need to pay that amount over, which is 60. And with some simple calculations, that's going to give me 533 rands, 33 cents. Okay, and now finally, after 3 years, how much do you still owe? After 3 years, how much is still owed. So question, 3 years is equal to how many months? It's going to be equal to 36 months. And so that means I would have paid payments already made, payments made is going to be the following. It's going to be a total of 36 payments that we paid an amount of 533 rands 33 cents, which gives me a total of having paid 19,200. Okay, so the big question is, how much do we still owe? Okay, how much do you still owe? And the simple answer to that is it's going to be 32,000 minus 19,200. 32,000 minus 19,200, and that would give me a total of still owing 12,800 rands. Okay, is that correct? Yes, 12,800 rands. Okay, so there we answered a quick and easy, simple interest question. It was a question that asked us, what is the loan amount if I'm taking out a loan of 20,000 Rand, I'm being quoted a simple interest rate of 12%, and I want to repay it over 5 years. How much do I have to repay? I have to repay a total of 32,000 Rands. Okay. And the monthly repayments was just the total divided by the number of months. The balance owed after a number of period or number of years is we just take into consideration how much we've already paid, and then we find the difference from the total amount. Okay, so there's a quick example. In the next one, we'll look at another example with simple interest, and then also we will consider a compound interest example.